According to the data conducted by PPS 2022, 12.29% of people live below the poverty line in rural areas, which is nearly twice as many of those who live in urban areas. In addition, according to the data from BPS, women have a percentage of 0.45% higher than men in terms of population who live below the poverty line, where this happens not only in Indonesia but around the world. According to the data from the United Nations, women make up 70% of the world's poor people. Thus, empowering women is essential to intervene this condition. The activities of women empowerment to alleviate poverty in rural areas are one step closer toward achieving the first and the fifth village SDGs agenda, namely no poverty and the involvement of village women. Several strategies to achieve those agendas can be made, one of which is a model of the Penta-Heli collaboration approach, a model of socio-economic development that encourages cooperation through synergy between government, academics, community, private sector, and media. This study is a qualitative study using document analysis methods that is in accordance to Sultan and Yahaya's research method. This article aims to provide an overview of women's empowerment and the role of microfinance institutions concerning the concepts, impact, and challenges that exist in the rural area, particularly in Indonesia. This analysis includes the process of gathering data and analyzing prior research on the subject topics. Additionally, in order to make the findings easier to understand for readers, the analysis was divided into 3 parts. Empowerment is defined as the ability to self-determine the term of success. Therefore, they can control the factors that influence their lives in development process. One object of empowerment is women. Referring to the United Nations Development Fund for Women, achieving women empowerment means accomplishing the one's ability to organize their lives, to have bargaining power, and to influence social change. According to the World Bank, there are 4 main elements in empowerment activities, include access, participation, accountability, and capacity. According to the International Food Research Policy Institute, the Women's Empowerment in Agriculture Index measures the role and level of involvement in the agricultural sector in 5 domains, namely production, resources, income, leadership, and time. The Women's Empowerment in Agriculture Index is a useful tool for policymakers, organizations, and academics seeking to inform efforts to increase women empowerment. Microfinance as an instrument for accelerating rural women's empowerment. But how is that possible? Microfinance offers financial services in deposits, loans, payments, transfers, and insurance to customers with low income level who do not gain access to formal banking systems, because it is targeted to the marginalized people that are lack of money, perceive cost of accounts, and have distance to financial institutions so they can have access to financial resources or credit facility. MFI also already have legal groundwork that are issued on regulation, namely first, Law Number 1 of 2013 on Microfinance Institution, and second, the Government Regulation Number 89 of 2014, and the last is the Financial Services Authorities Regulation. In rural areas of Indonesia, microfinance institutions are widely established in the form of rural women cooperatives. In East Nusa Tenggara, there is Tapawala Badi, woman farmer group, which established the model of microfinance development through local wisdom using the bottom-up approach. Regular social gathering, profit sharing, saving, and issuing loans to members in need have become the fundamental framework of microfinance practice. This practice brings positive impact in terms of generating income of rural women and also increasing household investment in child education and healthcare. Another case study from Kepoh Agung Village and Kedung Rojo Village, Tuban Regency, the presence of women cooperatives established through the regional government grant. Those bring positive impact as follows: strengthening the social capital of rural communities and also increasing the self-esteem and entrepreneur skill of the rural women. In study cases that have found in some countries, microfinance also bring positive impacts to socio-economic welfare of rural women, increase women's involvement and access to facilities, and also creating higher economic empowerment. Microfinance challenges in empowering women in rural areas. First, they still have low education and skills that are closely related to the low financial literacy and lack of knowledge on productive activities. Second, in general and also rural women, they still have to perform household duties beside the productive activity. And the last, most of rural women still have low entrepreneurship skill and vulnerable to conflict. The conclusion of this study are the concept of empowerment consists of definition, elements, and domain. Women empowerment defined as the ability of women to organize their lives, to have bargaining power, and to influence social change. Women empowerment bring positive impact, particularly to address the limitation of women's access in rural areas. Low of education and skills, the mandatory to perform household duties, and vulnerable to conflicts are the major challenges that occur on the microfinance intervention toward rural women's empowerment. The recommendation include success story of microfinance at some place can be past practice regarding to women empowerment in rural areas.